shapes. It is still tempting to blend your colors. Please fight that urge. You're painting these shapes, right? And eventually, just like we did for black and white, you'll just get in here and make smaller and smaller shapes until eventually you just don't really need to blend anymore. Just paint those shapes. Okay, maybe a little bit more shadow right there. That's pretty good. I'm going to work on kind of blending out my shadow here a little bit, a little reflected light. Okay, so pretty quickly, in a very short amount of time, I have my three main values on my canvas, right? But again, when I made those values, I made them using blues and reds and yellows. I did not add black and white once, but you can still clearly tell where the shadow is. You can clearly tell where the highlights are. You can clearly see everything you need to see, right? Bless you. Now, just like with our black and white project, I would then go through and start blending these these shapes out, adding more color, more mixture, keep adding into everything that you have, so that as you're kind of pulling along here, I can mix these until eventually they're nice and smooth, right? You also are going to want to think about, if there's multiple objects, can this red reflect onto, say, like a blue bottle behind it? Maybe I get a little bit of green or a little bit of purple because I get some red mixing into my blue. So the shadows might be a little bit of reflected light. We'll get more into that when we get into painting landscape. But for now, whenever you're painting color, please try your absolute best. Notice no black or white on here at all. The highlight is just a little bit of yellow, made it lighter, right? The shadow here, I mixed in some blue, but I also mixed in a little bit of green to it as well, because that's the complementary color. If you get really close, you can actually see in that shadow that there is some green in that shadow. It doesn't feel like it should be there, but it's absolutely there, right? That shadow has green in it, right? But from far away, it just kind of works, right? Mix in that complementary color into your shadows, and you'll get something that feels much more realistic without ever needing to use black or white paint, right? So, step one, you were thinking about toning your canvas. Step two, you're thinking about mixing your colors and staying with your primaries, green, red, and yellow. As I'm going along, maybe this green background is a little too flat for me, so just like we did before, maybe I would go ahead, let's see, I'll mix this up real quick. Maybe I want to mix in some other colors into that background. I still want to keep it green as the complementary color, but maybe for me, instead of this lime green everywhere, maybe I mix up, let's see, like a really deep, kind of Everhurst kind of, ooh yeah, that's a good one. Kind of a nice evergreen. So remember, complementary colors, juxtaposition still work. So, it's lighter on this side. So, darken the background. Still a green background, right? But that darker background will help that lighter object really pop. And then, blend it up. Right? Spend more time blending than I am. Right? So that's going to help push our object forward. If you're looking and you say, that shadow right there, it's not working for me. Cool. Mix up an even darker value. Get some brown, get some blue, get some red, get a crimson. Yeah. Look at that. That is I don't even need black. This is everything I need right here. Let's slap a little bit of a darker shadow on there to really help this bottle pop. Pull some of that shadow up into there. Shapes. Right? Keep adding those colors. Now again, I'm rushing it because obviously this is wet on wet paint, but stick with your colors. For this project, you should not ever need black or white paint. You just shouldn't, right? Obviously, yours are going to be way more detailed than this. This is just 3 values, highlight, midtone, and shadow. Yours will have many, many values because we go through the same steps we went for our black and white drawing, right? Same process as everything. And again, you're gonna have more than just one bottle on there. But take into account, don't forget about your background, right? Let that background kind of help your bottle pop. Remember to go through the steps. Start with your shadow, add on your highlight, jump over to your midtone, right? Do those steps. If you're doing all three at the same time, it's gonna turn into this big muddy mess. Don't do that, right? Shadows, highlights, midtones. Cool? Questions with that?